Hi everybody, welcome back. Hope you are well. In this video we're going to be changing our jockey wheel, and this video is showing you how you can replace your jockey wheel if you find you need to. It may not be overtly obvious on how you can do that, and also depending on your A-frame style it may be a little bit more troublesome. On the Bailey we have now, it's going to be really straightforward in fact, but on the Luna it would have been a little bit more tricky because of the style of the A-frame and the positioning of the jockey wheel. However, in this video I'm going to show you how we change it over for both styles of A-frame, so if you follow the instructions along you can't go wrong. Now this isn't a review or a product endorsement or a sponsored video at all, but if you are interested in the jockey wheel that we're swapping over with, head on over to our blog. There's a link up here. Go and have a look at the review that I've written about this jockey wheel and the reasons why we are swapping it over. So without further ado, let's head on outside and let's have a look what we've got already. A standard jockey wheel comes apart in two halves and it makes it easier to replace. But to make this happen we need to raise the nose of the Caravan, and more on this in a moment. The truth is I don't actually need to raise the nose of my Caravan because, as you can see, the jockey wheel is outside the A-frame. And replacing the jockey wheel is as easy as undoing the bracket and replacing the jockey wheel assembly, of course with the corner steadies down. But for instances that the jockey wheel is inside the A-frame and covered up, well, this is the process that we will go through to replace it. First of all, wind up all the corner steadies, and before we go any further, let's make sure that the handbrake is fully on. You can check that the handbrake is fully on by pushing against the Caravan left and right and checking that the Caravan doesn't move. As an added security measure, put some chocks down in front and behind the wheels as well, now that the Caravan is secure. Now we can raise the nose of the Caravan using the existing jockey wheel. Pay close attention to the rear of the Caravan and make sure that you don't bottom out the rear of the Caravan on the floor. You can part lower a corner steady to make sure that the Caravan doesn't bottom out, and I've done it by lowering the corner steady by 5 turns. Once the nose is raised, place some blocks under the front corner steadies and lower into place. So next we loosen the jockey wheel and pull up as high as it will go. Then clamp in place and wind the jockey wheel down. The bottom will undo itself and eventually detach from the handle. Now go careful here, the jockey wheels are usually greased inside so they can be a bit mucky. To remove the top part, loosen the clamp and pull up from the A-frame, and reassemble the jockey wheel by placing the two halves together and winding down the handle. Here you can see the old versus the new jockey wheel, and from this angle they look very different heights. The reality is that the shafts are both identical, so swapping over is dead easy. The new jockey wheel comes apart in exactly the same way as the old, and I'm using my feet here to steady the jockey wheel. I don't want to get the greased parts of the new jockey wheel dirty, so instead of letting it fall on the floor, I'm slowly unwinding the jockey wheel assembly until I feel the two halves release. Then I can grab the bottom half before it falls over on the floor. Back at the Caravan, slide the new top half into the A-frame and clamp in place. And as before, insert the bottom half and wind it up. I'm winding mine all the way up and down a couple of times here to make sure that it's okay. Then I adjust the jockey wheel so that the wheel is on the floor. Finish up by raising the corner steadies and removing the blocks, and then lowering the new jockey wheel so the Caravan is level. And that's it, job done. Right, there we go guys, I hope that's useful for you. That's the jockey wheel swapped over. I'm glad we did it, to be honest with you, because I've just had a look at the old one that's come off of it, and there was a crack in the plastic, so there was a good reason for us to swap over. Never realised it was that badly damaged. It's crazy really, because it's only 7 months old, that jockey wheel, and I don't think it's done more than 20-25 metres of physically moving around in all that time that we've had it. So I can't understand why it's broken already. Anyway, there we go. We think we've got a better product on the Caravan now. Eagle-eyed viewers will notice that there was a blob of grease on the outside of the new jockey wheel. Don't worry, I've cleaned that all up and I've degreased the outside of the jockey wheel housing. But that's a good point though, that if you are doing this, make sure that you do clean everything down as you go along, and make sure that you don't get grease on the outside tube of the jockey wheel. It will just make it more prone to sliding around. So make sure it's nice and clean, and I highly recommend the use of gloves when you're swapping them over, because you know they are greasy on the inside, and the old one that came off was particularly mucky, even though it's not that old. So wear a pair of rubber gloves or protection or something like that, or be able to wipe your hands at the end of the day. That'd be a good tip from me. So there we go, guys. I hope that's useful for you. Any comments, any criticisms or anything like that, you know, put them down below. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll be happy to read them through over the next few days. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week. Take care now. Bye bye.